We're live on audio now. We're live on YouTube. This is the 307 podcast. My name is Chili. I'm your host, filling in for Chad Allen Rite, who is in San Diego, California. 70 degrees. We're hitting the weather early.
Dang.
70 degrees in
Coastal winter.
in San Diego, California. Mild to moderate winds. Winds on that Pacific coast. You know about that, Hunter? They do a lot of surfing and skimboarding out there. He's at the Hotel Del.
No, he ain't.
Huh?
No, he ain't. I didn't allow that.
He's at the Hotel Del training right now, and he's having a good time. Well, we're going to kick off this meeting. This isn't a podcast. We just decided we would record this meeting today. What do we have coming up, Corn? The advanced drop?
Yeah, the advanced drop's coming up.
Yep.
Not this weekend, but the next. And
Yep.
yeah, that's going to be big.
What do we need to do for ads on YouTube this week?
For ads on YouTube this week, I'm sure we got to do a first foreman.
Yeah?
First foreman somewhere in there.
Matt Foreman.
First foreman. Yeah. We'll just do first foreman this week.
Okay, you got anything for the meeting, Blake?
Nah.
Any announcements that the team should know? Wow.
What's going on this week, bub?
Huh. What about you, Hunter? No. That was a pretty short meeting. Corn's still on his phone, and I'm about to smack it out of his hand.
He's worried to death
About his AirPod. Where's your AirPod?
Listen, I've got some news about Corn. He caught his first bass this weekend.
Really?
We went on. We had the opportunity to go down and do this big squirrel hunt down in Alabama with the Buckmasters.
I wanted to hear about that, but what you're fishing?
Well, yeah. So at the downtime, they've got a couple lakes, and Jackie himself let us fish his lake. And Corn, bless his heart, he didn't have. We didn't bring poles because we're not really bass fishermen.
You've never caught a largemouth bass?
listen,
I've caught a bassel
Just listen.
of largemouth
So-
bass. A bassel.
we get out there, and it's like, hey, look, we don't really fish. All right.
Yeah, do we
But-
look like James Niggermeyer to you? We ain't fishermen.
So
Wow. 5 minutes into a podcast where Chad's not here, and you're already bringing up James Nickemeyer.
I love him.
we
I do too, but
everybody should know
You're getting a
how
little
to
obsessed.
fish, how to tie your lure on, how to throw a fishing pole. And so our buddy Cody
how to cast.
and Allie, they had some poles, right? And they said,
Throw
you
a
can use
fishing
these
pole.
poles. So we get down there and go, oh, I ain't never used a bait caster.
No, that is true.
I don't know how
Really?
to throw that.
I had never used that bait cast.
So I coached him up on it, although I am not a fisherman.
He had a bird's nest in that in 5
And look,
seconds.
Wasn't that bad.
Corn went from never have caught a bass
That's a
and-
lie.
to catching a probably 3-pounder.
Oh, the biggest one that was caught all the
Well, that's a
last
bit
2
of an
days.
How far did you throw
Exaggeration.
that bait caster? About 3 feet.
No, I mean, I
You
was.
warmed
got
up to
pretty
it.
good at it.
You warmed up to it. That's good.
Yeah.
But I got it on video. We can put that on Patreon. But he caught his first bass. It was a nice one. And
Well, you could say my
Good
first
job.
Alabama bass. I mean, you could since you want to play my first fishing trip. You could say my first Alabama bass.
it was really an honor for me to be there with you first catch and to have trained you up in how to use the bait caster.
You set the hook.
literally the biggest.
No, this is what happened.
Did he set the hook?
He gets the fish in, right? He's fishing the boat ramp. You know, a
that's
concrete
all I
going down
fish.
in. And he reels it in. And then right at the edge of the water, the fish comes off of the hook. And I said, you didn't even catch it. And he jumped.
Oh, you didn't seal the deal?
He jumped in the water and caught it with his hands and pulled it out.
Well, I don't believe that.
I got it on
By
video.
golly, it's on video.
Well, I'll need to see that video.
Yeah.
I really doubt you did that.
No, he did.
yeah.
I mean, he didn't like dive
You're gonna
in,
eat those words.
but he got in there and I said, "You didn't even catch the fish, Corn." And then he goes in there and gets it. Gets a
No,
hold
you
of it.
didn't do that.
Well, I got it on video.
By golly, it is. Yeah,
That's gonna be Patreon
biggest
exclusive.
fish. Biggest.
You got a
fish.
sick one.
No, he was healthy. A healthy fish.
Yeah.
Where's your AirPod?
I think it's over about West 3rd Street, Rome, Georgia. I think it's laying on the ground over there. Maybe in the gutter.
Why is that the case?
because I misplaced it.
One of those construction dudes over there is going to take it.
Yeah.
You just left it out there.
Gonzalez. Then scooped that thing up.
Well, look, you got out of the truck, and I knew something was wrong. The first time I laid eyes on you, I was like, man, he either hadn't slept or he needs a cigarette.
No. You know.
And then I found out what's wrong.
Well, me and Blake went to the killing fields, man.
Your calf is strained and your mouth is swollen.
My mouth's come down. Does it still look swollen? I don't think it is.
Ask Chili. You don't believe me.
Now, Blake has got this thing now where if you, like, say something to him, he wants to joke about you, something related to that. So he had a thing on his ear. So I allowed, hey, bud, how long that brown spot been on your ear? And he wiped it off as some tick hide or something that was on his ear. And then the next thing you know, he's like, hey, man, your gums are swole up or something. You look like this right here. So he tries to make a joke about you the whole time.
And it just so happened that his mouth was actually hurting in the same spot on the same side that I said, what do you have in your mouth? And he's like, nothing, man. My gum's swollen. It was swollen over here yesterday. It started hurting down here the next day. And I got some of this kudzu leaf I've been sucking on, and I think that's what happened.
Sweet gum.
So
Kudzu and sweet gum root.
So
he really struggled this weekend. He really
it
struggled.
sounds like it.
Yeah, he missed a pig.
We don't know that I missed the pig. We don't know. We didn't get the pig.
Then who you missed it?
No.
But
Let me tell you what.
No, you missed where you should have shot it if you didn't recover it.
There's been a many.
Point blank, you
There's
missed.
been a many a times I've shot a pig and know I've shot a pig. The pig squealed, took off.
It could have done that because you scared it.
Bumping into trees and whatnot.
It just
and you don't even
squealed 'cause
go look for the pig.
It squealed because you scared it.
You don't even go look for the pig.
It squealed because you frightened it.
You just pigs and coyotes. You just shoot them to shoot them. You just shoot them to kill them.
Pest.
Well, you don't
Yeah.
know that you can't. That's not a confirmed kill.
No, it definitely isn't. I'll agree with that.
Now,
but I
it
won't agree
was-
that I missed. I will not agree with that.
It was recorded through the scope, and his crosshairs were up toward the neck and low, but it's hard to tell where they were at right when the shot breaks. It is a 50-50,
Nonetheless.
but he was in the vicinity, so anyways. But he did good.
Did y'all have a good time?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. Killed
We always have a good time.
Killed a few fox squirrels. Had a feist out there. Was way better than JR. I mean, if JR had been out there, he wouldn't have been able to keep up. Really.
Way better than Wendy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Wendy's
it's
a
better
pet
than
now,
Wendy.
anyway.
Yeah.
Way better than Wendy was.
Yeah. I mean, Wendy's good, but she gets hung up. This dog could have treated 5 squirrels to Wendy's too. Don't you think?
Well,
The way she doesn't was half your dog.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I've only road hunted Wendy.
That's true.
Yeah.
We walk hunted.
Yeah.
We walk hunted. And we were shooting these squirrels with pellet guns.
Yeah.
That seems like a no.
And we shot one squirrel, how many times, Corn?
8 times.
8 times with pellet. And it was holding on with one hand to a vine
Yeah.
to get it to come down.
Hey,
And
come
we
on.
lost a squirrel to pellet guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
If we had a shotgun, we would have to fire one blast. Boom, squirrel's dead.
Or a dang 22 in the head, man.
Yeah, pellet gun is not. You like a 22, don't you?
I do.
You keep playing up. Everybody thinks a 22 is bad.
Well, they do. That
You can't even hit nothing with your 22.
well, that's on me. That ain't on the gun. I mean, look, these air guns and pellet guns, that's fine for just, having fun in the yard or whatever with whatever, but that ain't killing nothing.
Now, if you got a rest, a good rest,
killing
and you
nothing.
shoot that squirrel behind the shoulder or in the head, it will kill
A
it
22's serious.
easily.
That pellet gun's no.
Yeah,
that is a
22,
toy.
That's a serious round.
Your daddy allowed you better lay off, JR.
I tell him he ain't got nothing on Sage.
Yeah, Sage was doing it.
I mean, this guy was serious about. You think Chad's serious about squirrel hunting? This guy was serious.
Who was this guy?
What was his name? Jamie.
We've given no background information to none of this.
He's from Nashville.
Well, you're running the show, bub.
What? I there? Was I there? All I know is you needed a Marlboro Red when you got out of the truck and you had a swollen mouth.
Whoa, bud, why? Chill. Is this how you want the podcast to go?
Don't be,
you want it to be wild?
Don't be mad that you lost your AirPod.
I am mad that I lost.
No, don't take it out on me though. I would never do that to you.
With what?
Any frustration that I had, I would not take it out on you.
You literally take everything out on me.
Like what?
Showing up on time, you take out on me. Here I am again, Corn. On time. Look at me. On time again.
Well, you act like I'm always late. I'm never late. Anyway. So what was this for this weekend? I mean, give me some background information, Lord. What were y'all there for? You had a bunch of drab losers this morning.
How you say the name of that town? Hayneville, Alabama.
Help him out, Blake.
Yeah. It was the I don't spell and talk right, you know what I mean? The Buckmasters Squirrel Masters Jamboree.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was an event that y'all were influencers at.
That we were invited to.
Yeah.
To be influencers at.
To participate in.
Okay.
They heard that we killed a lot of squirrels. They heard how good I shot and how well I could spot them.
Uh-huh.
And Corn come along. He's good spotting squirrels too.
And good woodsmanship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, if we're going to be in the wood, he ought to be there.
Nice property, though?
Real nice property, yeah. Yeah, it was real nice.
Well, it's nice. The unique thing about the squirrels in Alabama is when they get treed, they come back down the tree. In Georgia, they don't do that. North Georgia, they don't do that. Now, we did learn in Warm Springs a squirrel will do that. But in North Georgia, I don't know why, but these squirrels, they would come back down the tree, hit the ground, and run to the next tree and then go back up. They wouldn't timber on the branches. Now, sometimes they would, but usually they would come all the way back down the tree. And that's how Corn actually caught a squirrel by hand, was running across the ground. He reaches down and grabs it by the tail and does this 360 spin and smacks it right into a tree. Kills it dead.
Gave him a fatal concussion.
Well, that's fine, but I still don't believe you caught that bass with your hand.
You're going to see it.
Okay.
He did, yeah.
You're going to see it.
So we had a good time. Glad to be back. We just got in today. We left Monday after the podcast, and we showed up Wednesday before the podcast. So this was a packed few days.
Yeah. Y'all don't seem like you got much sleep.
We brought a lot of death.
No, we didn't get in bed last night till 12:45 Alabama time, which would have been 1:45 Georgia time.
Yeah.
And then we got up this morning at, 6 o'clock? Yeah.
Well, did y'all eat anywhere good in Alabama?
No.
Nah.
About Dreamland Barbecue. It ain't much count, is it?
It's better than Dobbs.
Yeah. It is, but it ain't much.
That was in downtown Montgomery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've overhyped it.
I was excited to try that place. And
yeah.
It was a big letdown.
It's a legendary spot. But
Is it?
Well, yeah, but I told you it was going to let you down. It ain't all that.
Yeah.
But you know.
I don't recommend it.
But you built it up in your own mind. So
ruined it. Them Montgomery streets had me messed up, man. Like when we got off the interstate, the way the way their streets flow is weird to me.
Well, you cannot follow a GPS. I don't mean to keep hating on you, but this joker will turn he turned literally into a cow pasture, and the road was like 20 feet past his turn. Like, we're going to this place, he turns into a cow pasture. And I said, Corn, what are you doing, man? He's like, there's a turn right here. And I was like, look, man, here's where you are. Here's the turn. Did you think that we were going to go through this cow pasture to get to our next road?
Remember when he rode through Orleans, Indiana? Remember how he...
Oh, yeah.
You can't drive.
What's the name of that stupid app you use? It's
Oh,
not. It's not.
Waze.
I hate that app too.
I can't stand
I
it.
put it on Google
That's
because
a
you didn't
terrible
like
app.
it.
And in my
Waze
and
is
in-
over.
It
Terrible.
wasn't on Google. It was still on that one that allowed police up here, tree in the road over here.
Yeah, but I
Little
changed
kid
it, and you
riding a
was still
bicycle
doing
ride.
the
Nah,
same
it was
thing.
Who?
What?
Who riding a bicycle? Luke Bryan? Who did you say?
Luke Bryan riding a bicycle
Is
up
that
here.
what you said?
In my defense on turning into cow pasture, Blake allowed the liaison that was getting us there, Allie, said this thing is taking people to some weird places, and we're just going to pull up at this ranch. Now, if you pull up at a ranch, that's going to be inside a cow pasture.
Corn.
So when I seen
That's your defense.
so when I seen
So when I saw one, I just pulled into it.
Of all the 500 cow pastures we passed, you thought, this is it.
Yeah, because that stupid app you use where you can't tell where to turn at was allowing the turn. It'll say like 0.9 miles till you turn. Next thing you know, you look down, it says 600 feet.
That's because you have traveled approximately 0.9 miles.
No, that thing's junk, man. That thing is awful.
I do hate Waze.
But I do appreciate you driving.
Every bit. He drove for 10 minutes. He drove from coffee shop to coffee shop.
Well, they were further than 10 minutes apart.
He drove from 10 minutes, coffee shop to coffee shop. I did all the other driving.
I drove
all of
like
it.
2 hours today.
All of it.
He did do all the other driving.
Every bit of it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, how's your other ailments coming? Your shoulder doing all right?
Yeah, it's doing okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Calf?
Calf's stretched out today.
Okay.
Yeah, it's stretched out today.
I guess this workout we're going to do after the show will just be me, huh?
Yeah, I'm not going to be doing that.
Hunter can do it.
Yeah? You want to do it, Hunter?
Pepe.
All right, well, thanks for telling me about y'all's squirrel hunt
Thanks for asking.
or whatever it was, event. It was a lot.
Yeah, it's big.
Wait, I thought it was a squirrel hunt. It was a squirrel
That
hunt,
was the meat of it, but
fishing, nighttime varmint killing.
Yeah.
that made the whole hamburger, but the meat of it was the squirrel hunt.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was good, man.
Well,
You should have been there, Chili.
if you don't, I've been busy,
What have you been doing while we was gone?
lots of stuff. But do you have any announcements, Blake? Because I do have one.
Go ahead.
Well, there's a race coming up, 3 of 7 Project Trail Race. I don't know exactly how many spots are left. I think I'll just ballpark it at about 40. March 22nd, that's a Saturday. I will not be there, unfortunately. I will not be there. Once again, how busy I am. I'll be traveling, and I do hate that, but it is going to be a good race. We've done this. Trying to think now. The first 3 of 7 race was a 50K, and we've done this one at Sloppy Floyd.
It'll be 3 times, won't
Is
it?
this the third or the fourth?
Third.
Yeah. So third annual 3 of 7 Project Trail Race at Sloppy Floyd State Park. It's a looped race, so 4 and 8 hour options. Yeah, if you've done it before, come out and try to beat your laps from before, or if you've never done it and are looking for a good opportunity to get a 50K in, you could do the 8 hour option, and it'd be a tough one, but it's definitely doable. And I know Chad signed up for the 8 hour.
Yeah.
Chad's going to be there running, and I don't know. You'll have a good opportunity to destroy Chad at a race because he is more out of shape than usual. So that'll be really funny. I wish I could see that.
This would be some good ROP training if somebody wanted to come get just some miles in. Just 8 hour, just go out and walk.
Yeah, for real.
Stay on your feet.
Yeah, you could ruck out there, run out there for 8 hours. It's just a good training opportunity for a lot of the other races that people are doing, and good meet up with the community. It's always a fun time. So I'm gonna miss it, but we've got that thing to a science now too. You know, these races. I think we're really honing in the quality of them, and hopefully they're getting better each and every time. And we'll have the Mountain Mama again in probably October. So yeah, come out and race with us. That's the only announcement I had. Well, I'll ask you, Corn, do you want to do news or Patreon question first? The news is big.
Let's do the Patreon question.
Okay.
Because it goes along with the race
All right.
that you just talked about.
Go ahead.
This question is directed to you, Chili.
Oh, wow.
This is a Chili-specific question. For Mr. Mike Hoffman. Doing my first ultra on March 22nd, Crown King Scramble 50K. Going to pay the debt that Chili and Blake incurred for being tourist outlaws. Would love to hear about Chili's first ultra, how he did, and what he learned.
Well, Crown King, that's you remember Crown King.
Yeah. Iconic.
It is iconic. Chad was rolling through when he did the Cocodona 250. That was an aid station in Crown King Saloon, and we were
30-something miles.
yeah,
right?
probably 38 miles in or something. That's close enough, and he was looking rough.
Yeah. All systems are go.
Yes. So about a 50K in that terrain can definitely provide quite the challenge. But that sounds like a great race. It's probably the same race director, huh? Era Viper running.
I'm not sure. I mean,
I would think it's got to be. I don't know who else does anything out there in those parts, but definitely recommend Era Viper races. And that sounds awesome, Mike. That's a big step Mike's taken to get to be running a 50K already.
Is he from out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's close to home for him, and that's a big step. Remember, he was at the Proving Ground just a year ago.
Yeah.
Just a year ago. And, I mean, to go from the way he was at the Proving Ground, which he did a lot better than he thought he did, but, you know, he struggled with some things and realized you know, that running and hiking was super difficult, more difficult than it needed to be. And, I mean, he's already running a difficult 50K like that. That's awesome. That's a really fast ramp up. So want to acknowledge that. But my first ultra, you know, I've probably told two different stories about my first ultra. Because sometimes I say that my first one was the Georgia Jewel 100 miler. And other times I remember that really the first time I ever went over a marathon, over the ultra distance, was a last man standing race that I did in Chattanooga. And I was running in college, ran for a semester. I decided I wanted to run on my own, left college, transferred schools, and about a year, half a year went by, and I was just kind of piddling around, not running much. And I didn't even know what ultra running was at the time when I was 18 or 19. And, I guess I was 18 at the time. And it's funny because it was gaining popularity at that time, and I had ran my whole life, but I just never really knew much about it or that was even a thing. And I saw that this race was in Chattanooga. It was a last man standing, which I hadn't even heard of those at the time. And I was like, man, that sounds pretty cool. And then I really realized what the format was. It was, you know, you just run this little 4-something mile loop for every hour. And basically whoever is not going to quit will win. And I was like, the longest I'd ever ran at that point was like a 15-mile long run. And so I had no business to think that I could run hundreds of miles or whatever it would take. And I was like, I looked at my dad and I was like, I will win that easy. And he was like, all right, well, let's go do it. And I went to it. I didn't know nothing. I mean, I just had road shoes, I think. Maybe I had a pair of trail shoes, but it was nothing that I'd went long in. Like I said, my longest run was 15 miles, and I didn't know anything about nutrition, nothing. And I remember it was a decent-sized field, maybe 100 runners, maybe not even. And I just remember getting a lap or two in and looking at Dad and being like, this will be so easy. Like, I will win this, no problem. And then about 16, 20 miles in, I was like, this is farther than I've ever went. This is easy as crap. And then marathon in, 30 miles in, 35 miles, whatever it was in that range. I remember being like, golly, this is easy. I mean, is this all the ultra running is? Like half the field had already quit. I was like, this is easy. And then it was about 10 hours in. That gets you at like 42, 43 miles, and the wheels just fell off. I mean, I just slowed down so much. I started hiking and I don't even know what happened. Like I just was not moving well at all. And Dad was like, you cut that one a little close. You just trying to, I forget what he asked me. He was like, giving me the benefit of the doubt. And I was like, yeah. And then the next lap, I came in over an hour, and I was out of time, and I was like, it just happened so fast, and I was like, wow, that was odd. Like I was doing really well, and then all of a sudden the wheels just fell off. I covered like 50 miles, 48 or 46 officially or whatever it was. So I'd win an ultra distance, and I was like, dang, how did that happen so fast? And it took me a minute to realize, like, we were getting our stuff ready and everything. And I was like, well, how many people are still going? And it was a ton of people. It was like 15 people still going. And I was only 50 miles in, and there was women still going. And I was like, dang, that was embarrassing. Like, because I wasn't just playing it up like I thought I would win. Like, I actually believed I would win. And that definitely, that humbled me, but in a strange way, when the days following that race, I was, as humbling as it was, and as much as I failed to live up to the expectations that I put for myself and what I just genuinely thought I could do, it was weird that it humbled me that much, yet made me realize that I could actually do that. Like, I remember coming away from it being like, that really went bad, but I'm confident I can figure this out.
Yeah.
And so it was that point that I said, I'm going to do this again, and I'm going to do it big. And I started training from that point on hard for ultra specifically. And I said, I'm not going to do another ultra. I'll do some races in between, but I'm not going to do another ultra until I'm going to smack it in the mouth. And so I waited almost exactly a year to do the Georgia Jewel 100, which was like my first official, sign up for an ultra distance, and trained for a year really hard, like learned so much from just that one. And it went a lot better. And one thing that it's important for me to say that story too, for you, Mike, or anybody that asks about ultras, is because like, my first official ultra, the Georgia Jewel 100, that one went well. But I think sometimes when I say that or tell that story, like I don't mention that last man standing disaster, that like that's really why the Georgia Jewel went so well, because I don't know that it would have panned out that way if I hadn't tried to race that just out of pure ignorance and just got obliterated, Yeah. Like, I don't think that would have went well. I don't think I would have trained so hard or with the knowledge that I had. I just don't think I would have been able to know, I need to do this now. Like, I would have.
You don't know until you go try and fail at it.
Exactly. And, that's. Mike asked me specifically, I guess, for some advice too with his first one, or just wanted to know that story. But what anybody can gain from this story is that you're never going to sign up for your first ultra or your first whatever and know everything you need to know because you've read other people's accounts or heard other people's accounts or looked up the perfect training plan online. Like, you might have success the first time you try something, but it's not really going to be because you found all of those right things. It'll, I mean, it's not luck either, but it's, you can't make sure or ensure with 100% certainty that your first time doing something will be a success just because of other people's experiences. Like, you're going to have to try something yourself. And it, like I said, it could go well, but that's really why the Georgia Jewel went well for me, is because I had tried it before and put in a lot of effort. Like, people were telling me things about ultra running, and I heard you need to do this or eat this and everything. It was like, yeah, but I learned what I need specifically just from that one attempt. Everybody's different, everybody's individual. So the only way to learn something really is through your own experience. And you say that all the time, Blake, even with like life lessons. Someone can tell you all the time, like, hey, you shouldn't do this, or this is a mistake I made, but you probably won't realize that or get what you need from it until you make it yourself.
Yeah, you can avoid suffering on someone else's account. Like, I could share with you, don't do drugs, because when I did drugs, this is what happened, and you'd be like, oh, phew, glad I didn't do that. I avoided that suffering, but you're not going to get what they got out of it. You're not going to learn, like, why to the degree and how to manage, like, and you can avoid suffering but not learn. And learning is valuable. I'm not saying you should go do drugs so you learn. I'm saying, like, sometimes you got to jump in the mix and just learn it, I mean, do what you know how to do with what you have, and seek advice from those around you that know, and then take that and go do it, and then adjust, because especially with running, so much is so individual, with diet, with shoes, with gear, with what you're good at.
Yeah, and to me, those two races, my first two, were cool for me because I learned just as much or more at the second one that went well that I did the time I failed. Like, I hear a lot of people say, you never learn when you win, or like, you never learn when you're successful. It's only when you fail, so like failure is important. And I mean, I agree, failure is important. It's important to try things and fail and learn from it, but don't discount what you can learn from doing something right.
Yeah.
I mean, really, like, it seems to be often ignored.
Yeah.
But sometimes you try things and it goes well, or you learn something from a successful attempt at something, and like, you should learn from any time you do anything, whether it goes bad, well, regardless of the outcome, you can learn from something. And I don't know. That was my experience with ultra running. And what do you think about your first one, Blake? What did you learn from your first 100? I know you'd done ultras before that, but that's kind of a different deal.
Yeah. I mean, I think the nutrition was a big one, and through training you learn, right? And you don't have to do a race to start learning. You have to get out and start running to start learning. And, to your point, that people that say you don't learn till you start failing, when you fail, you learn what doesn't work. When you win,
you learn what works.
Learn what does work. Yeah. So to your point, you are learning both, and they're both great things to learn. But I guess on my first one, I ended up bumming my knee up, and it's no excuse, but I really felt like I had a lot more fitness than I did durability. And, I think had I trained for a longer period of time before that, maybe that would have helped. I don't know. Yeah. But, also just diet and nutrition, I think that's a really big key with ultra running, is figuring out what works for you and actually going out there, not doing a 10-mile run and be like, that felt pretty good. Like, actually go out, get your heart rate up, go for longer runs on your 20-mile runs or your back-to-back long runs. Go out and actually eat food and see what is going to sit well and what isn't. For me, it was like drink mix, and then like a high-carb drink mix, and then like peanut butter and honey sandwiches, I think, is what I would get a couple of those in between every aid station. And I might have ate like one or two gels and just really couldn't stomach them. But real food, simple ingredients, really simple carbs worked really well for me. So I think a big thing, what I did learn in training, was to dial in your nutrition. Yeah. Because on my first one, I didn't do that, the Iron Mountain 50-miler. I didn't do that, and I had some terrible stomach cramps and stuff. I just thought I'm just going to eat gels. I ate like a couple of them. I ran for 30 minutes, an hour, a couple hours, and I'd eat a gel or two, and I said, it's fine with me. And I got out there, and like 15 miles in, I remember I quit talking, and Chad was like, "You all right, man?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I had really kind of just quit eating because they were just jamming me up. I think I had a bunch of those goo gels, too. Those things are terrible. And, ended up figuring it out while I was out there, like, hey, stop eating this and eat this. So I learned what didn't work.
Yeah.
And then, I did a couple in between, but the more you do, the more you dial it in. So I think nutrition is a really big one that you have to figure it out or you're not going to finish the race. You have to figure out your nutrition, what you can eat and what your body will tolerate.
Do you think you learn things about, we're all talking about learning things from failure and success that pertain to the actual like strategy and mechanics of running. But like, do you think a lot of people do hard things or try to do their first ultra or like you, Corn, when you did your 100-mile bike ride, like, do you learn things about yourself when you do stuff like that? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you learn, okay, I need to do this when I'm riding or what to eat, but do you learn, I guess I don't ever really pay attention to that, but I know a lot of people do things that are difficult for that specifically. But it made me think I don't ever really take inventory of what I learn about myself. I don't do that.
I think that's he asked you, what do you?
Well, specifically like on the bike ride, the biggest lesson I learned, I've talked about, like I learned that I may not be the person that needs to be helping a specific person, and for that to be a forethought. So I've always seen myself as being somebody who has to help somebody, specifically like in my family or something like that. So I learned that may not always be the case. So I did learn that about myself.
Yeah.
When we went to the Hot Rod Ultra, like I don't think I took any inventory like that at all.
I know, yeah, I don't. That may be something you should do more. I should do more, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Well, I think naturally doing hard things, it show how you act when things are hard, reveal how you act and handle everyday stresses and things. And you can convince yourself that I am not a selfish person. I am not a prideful person. Yeah. I am not one who kind of draws back. I'm not one who steps forward. All of these things.
Yeah.
And then when it actually happens, and then those things play out, then it does, I think, show you things about yourself. But the problem can be sometimes you don't know that about yourself. So then when you do it, you still don't know it about yourself. It almost takes someone else to see it and say something. And then people can go do hard things. I think it does show things about ourselves that we can see sometimes that we don't. But then sometimes we'll do things and we feel like we have to take away something from it. We say, there has to be something here. And we will just formulate it like, I learned this about myself. I'm really going to, and you're just really satisfying this itch that you have to learn something about yourself. So, kind of in that same vein, I think it's like you should be conscious of it, but not be so hung up on having to come out with something. And if you don't, like you probably should have, but if you don't, ask some people that were around. Like you could even ask, what do you see that I'm responding improperly to day to day? You know, like just those kind of things. But when we go do those things like that, whatever it is that you should get, I firmly believe will stand out to you. Mm-hmm. Like you go do this hard race, this hard course, maybe it's a 307 course, maybe it's a ROP course, whatever, and people want to come back with this big, grocery sack full of things. This is what I need to wear. I got it all. Yeah. When really they need to come back with the little brown paper sack, with a little knick-knack in it, and it's like, this is what stood out to me, and this is one thing that I can work on over a long period of time, and then I'll continue to train. Once I've kind of got this down, I'll add something else to it and, continue to maintain. It's like things go from disrepair to maintenance. And then now when there's nothing in disrepair, you got to figure out what that next one is and add it to the maintenance list. And then you're just maintaining these things throughout your life.
Well, and you said, too, that a lot of times you need someone else to help you, like, evaluate you. Yeah. It's hard to self-evaluate yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that a lot with the last man standing stuff, or the people that are like, or really any ultra, you know, I'll never quit, you know, just this, I'll never quit nothing. And like even me, when you do that one where, you know, I didn't make the loop back in an hour, I mean, come on, man. Like, so many people do that, and we've talked about it before, but could I have not ran that in an hour? You know, like made that last lap in an hour one more time? Like, yeah. The reality is I was out there moping around and just quit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then you come back in and you're like, look at me, man. I just didn't make it. I would keep going, but, you know, they won't let me now that I've got this. I didn't make this cutoff. Like, that's such BS.
You quit under the guise of guidelines.
Exactly. You know, you're like, well, as long as, if I, you know.
If he'd let me keep running, I'd have just rolled on.
I mean, you know, and same thing with ultras that, you know, like
time out or miss a cutoff.
Yeah, man. Like, could you not have made it? I mean, really? You were giving everything you had.
Well,
you know.
Well, talking about other people noticing stuff, what did your dad say to you in that first ultra, the last man standing? Was anything specific?
No, nothing that I really remember or stand out. I mean, I think, you know, he was learning stuff just like I was, and he'd been a runner his whole life, but never ultra either. That was new to him. And, you know, I think he was pretty astounded that I even covered 50 miles, you know, when I had only ever done 15 at the time. And he was like, whoa. But all I ever said to him was like, that's ridiculous. I just got beat by all these people. And I think he was pretty much just like, hey, he did pretty good to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
We didn't really, I mean, I think I remember asking him, like, did you think I could win that or whatever? And he was like, yeah, but he was like, I think you, I mean, kind of to the point that I did take away myself. He was, you know, I think he was just like, he was like, I guess I think you can, but I don't really know, you know, like there's a lot you don't know about this. And I think that may be what stuck home, or, you know, hit home so much to me, as I was like, yeah, there is a lot I don't know about this, you know, like guaranteeing I would win when there's a lot that I was ignorant of. And now I could get way more experience than just one race, but I was like, yeah, but I'm kind of aware of all of those things now. Yeah. So I'm going to go fix them. And
you know what most people end up learning about themselves is that they actually had a lot more in them than they thought they had.
Yeah.
Or they didn't have near as much as they thought they had.
Yeah.
Some people show up and they say, got this in a bag, bub.
Yep.
And they're like, well, that's not really how I thought that was going to play out.
Yeah.
And then some people show up and say, I really don't think I'm going to be able to do this. And then they end up doing it. And, you know, in that circumstance, like that Iron Mountain race, the first one I did with Chad, I thought I could do it. But then getting into the race, I thought,
yeah,
I don't think so. Like we were coming into, I finished that race with like 15 minutes left in the cutoff of the race, which is pretty close for a 50-mile race. But we were coming through these aid stations, and Chad was like, when you come in here, you got to look strong. Like they're going to pull you if you're looking like this. He's like, just come in, grab something, and keep rolling through. I'll get us some water or whatever. And he would just keep telling me, I need you to go a little faster. I need you to go a little faster. And I was like, good night. But, you know, to the point, like I didn't really want to.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to stop. And I had these bungee laces on my shoe, I remember. You know, they like to keep your foot from swelling and tighten your laces too tight. And I told Chad, I said, look, hold on, man. I got to tie my shoe. And he's like, all right. Just a few seconds. He looked back. He said, you ain't even got no shoelaces. They were just pull string. But, you know, I think that's one big thing people realize about themselves is they're either humbled or encouraged, one of the two, which basically all it is putting yourself in proper perspective.
Yeah.
it's always off a little bit. It's going to always be off a little bit one way or the other, and we probably will all have, depending on our personalities, have a different tendency which one we kind of err on.
Yeah.
And so I do think that's one thing you cannot help but realize about yourself unless you just totally are oblivious and don't pay any attention to it. Because that's the end result happens, and it's like, oh, well.
I mean, I could talk about being honest with your self-evaluation every week, and I fail at it all the time, but I mean, I tried to get better and better at that. But I mean, that's my point with that race right there. Like, I told myself, well, I didn't quit that for a long time. And then you start looking back and you're like, dude, be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ridiculous to say. Like, I mean, and then I've, since done that same very thing again. And it's like, well, I didn't quit. Yeah, you did. I mean, you just flat out, I quit. The honest truth is I've quit basically every race I've ever done, even races that went really well and finished fast. Like, you just look back and you're like, yeah, but you just coasted the last few miles or whatever. Yeah. It's like you didn't. And to me, that's quitting. You're not giving all you have for the entirety of the event. And a lot of people, and this is, I mean, I have to just down on this. The whole, I was able, they brag that I was able to run a marathon or ultra marathon with no training. Like, well, that's quitting before it even got started.
Yeah.
If you don't even try to prepare for something, like, who cares that you just went out there and you did, finished it?
Yeah.
Like, you don't even, the hardest part of this 50K for Mike, it's going to be the months of preparation and training.
Which you should be probably winding down soon, right? When did you say it was? March or May?
March 22nd.
Yeah. So. I mean, the 50K will last, 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever it is. Yeah. The training is, you're going to have put months and months and potentially years, depending on what circumstance, and hours and hours and hours every day of training. So that's what's difficult.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Anyway, that was a long answer to that question.
Conversation.
Good job, Bub.
Good on you, Mike. Can't wait to see
for real.
how that
Keep us
out.
posted.
Yeah,
Mike.
That sounds like a cool race. I'd like to go back to Crown King.
Yeah, that's a cool spot. Is he ready?
Chad said we're supposed to call him?
I'm hooked up on Bluetooth.
Oh, my gosh.
Let's see. See if he answers. Everybody stand by.
Will it come through the audio?
It'll be on. Should be able to hear. Y'all don't have them. Just listen. They'll hear it.
Great.
Hello.
What's up?
I was just watching you guys live on YouTube.
Yeah, it's good to have you. How you been, bub?
I'm doing real good, man.
Well, actually, Chili's hosting this. Let him talk to you.
Okay.
Hey.
What's up, Kill Man?
Hey, buddy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Outstanding. How's the show going?
Was going really well until you called in.
I didn't call in. You guys were supposed to call me because I had a story I wanted to share.
What are you doing? Where are you at?
I am at, where are we at? Mission Bay. Me and David just got done with our morning paddle, and then we did a little bit of filming with First Form afterwards. It's going to make one heck of a documentary, man. It's already awesome. So we did 20K yesterday. We did a 20K paddle. This morning, what did we do, David? Did a little over 10K this morning. I was just kind of working on my paddling form, which is there's a lot more that goes into paddling a kayak efficiently than I would have ever imagined.
Has David realized how bad of a paddler you are?
I actually did pretty good today, didn't I, David? He said I did really good.
In the morning, and then he was solid by the end of it.
Yeah, I tightened it up.
Well, that's good.
I was worried that the technical side of paddling and having to be in sync and things was going to be hard for you, but it sounds like you got it down.
Well, we got a really good coach out here. David's coach, Coach Chris. I mean, he is one of the best paddlers in the world. So that helps tremendously right there.
Well, yeah.
You know, Blake, it's really learning to do this is a lot like teaching someone to shoot a handgun for the first time. Like the paddle stroke is a lot like shooting a handgun in terms of there's these fundamental aspects of it: the setup, the catch, the power phase, the exit. It's just like, stance, grip, side alignment, trigger press. And so I was talking this morning, it's like when we train someone out on the range to shoot a handgun and you see their brain is trying to tell their body to do these steps, and they understand it, mentally, but they just can't get their body to put it all together and sync it all up. That's exactly how I feel out here doing this. But then when it does come all together, you're like, oh, okay, this is how it's supposed to feel. It's effortless, and I'm gliding through the water. I'm, moving at 9, 10K per hour. And when it all clicks, you realize, okay, this is how it's supposed to feel.
Yeah, that's interesting to be put in the spot that the students are once again, and see how they feel, because shooting like that for us is not that way. But you could probably go paddle the Ultima Hall now twice as fast.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great learning experience. So we're having a good time, man. We're working hard. I'm sore as crap today. I didn't expect to be sore after the paddle yesterday, but I'm just sore in all these weird places. And we did a pretty hard gym workout yesterday too, after the paddle. So, man, we've been putting it in.
Where are you sore at? Your core, or like your back or shoulders? Or
yeah, my core, lats, shoulders. I'm probably sore in places that I shouldn't be, also because I'm holding tension in places where I should be relaxed.
Yeah.
So we just finished up. We're gonna grab a bite to eat, and then we're headed to VIP neuro rehab. David's got a PT session there, so I get to meet
cool,
all the people at VIP and get to see the shrine from the treadmill race.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Got Chili's sunglasses still on the wall.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see that in person too one day. No, it looks like we're having technical difficulties, Blake.
Really?
Someone blamed it on cream of Pepe in the chat.
You guys having technical difficulties again today?
Loading?
No, the YouTube appears to just be frozen in time. Cream of Pepe is not doing his job.
What's new? I'm not around to do everybody's job for them, so I figured it'd probably be pretty rough around there.
Good.
Well, I wanted to tell y'all a story. Some guy was out here talking to me the other day out here in San Diego, and he was telling me this story of this dude that actually had one of the best squirrel dogs in the country.
Are you serious? Is this really the story?
Yeah, this is the story.
Oh my gosh.
This dude had like one of the best squirrel dogs in the country, and he got invited on this big squirrel hunt with these big wigs, and the dude was telling me he went out and did this big squirrel hunt with these guys, and he didn't even bring that dog with him.
Are you serious? It was a dude in San Diego?
Yeah. He said these guys invited him on this big squirrel hunt, and the dude didn't even bring his dog with him, and so they ended up realizing that guy that had that really good dog, he wasn't even much of a hunter. He just liked to talk about hunting,
What was his name?
He said he didn't want me to share his name because he's still kind of embarrassed about it.
That was the right decision for him not to take that dog. I know the guy you're talking about. And believe me, had you been there on that hunt, you probably would have said, I'm glad I didn't bring the dog.
Have y'all talked about the hunt already?
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Oh, I'm going to have to go back and listen to it. I've been wondering how y'all did all day.
Cornbread's been smoking cigarettes.
Dang, that's rough, son.
Yeah, it did not go well.
Oh, man. All right, I got to go back and listen to that.
Well, hey, we're about to go film a workout. Corn came up with it. I was wondering if y'all had any tips for me. You bear crawl a lap on the track, and then you do burpee broad jumps, and then you lunge a lap, and then you run a lap. You got any tips?
No, that sounds terrible.
You would normally be doing that with me, but since you're not here, I'm going to do it by myself.
You say you got to burpee broad jump a whole lap?
Yeah.
That sounds terrible. Well, I got a tip for you. Make Cornbread do that. Oh, he can't do that with you.
No, he's useless.
He's still a light limited duty.
Yeah. Did you know it's gotten worse, by the way? He strained his calf. He strained his calf.
Well, CB, we're going to have a talk about all this when I get back home, buddy.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that squirrel hunt we went on, Sage is better than JR or Wendy ever thought about being.
Well, I guess we'll never know, huh? I guess we'll never know if that's true
we
or
know
not.
because I've hunted with them and I've hunted with them.
Not in the same woods on the same day.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, if that dog was that good, you're lucky I wasn't there because I'd have been buying that dog.
No, he said $30,000 wouldn't get that dog.
Well, we ain't even talking price at $30,000. Come on, man. Give me a break.
She was good. Sage. From a fella from up around Nashville.
Them jokers ain't got no squirrel dogs, man.
Yeah. Yep, that was good.
Jokers are deer hunters, man.
Oh, no, that's all this guy does. He was headed – where was he headed to, Corn?
He was going to the world hunt.
World hunt. You ever been
He
to
wasn't
that?
about to go there, man.
You ever been to the world hunt?
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. I told y'all my squirrel hunting story. That's all I wanted to tell.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna get in here and eat a bite, I reckon. I'm just out here in sunny Southern California. It's about 70-something degrees out here, sun shining,
That's what it is here.
palms blowing in the wind.
We ain't got nap.
Living that life, boy.
Well, enjoy yourself. Glad somebody can live that life.
This shows went well.
Just living that life, boys. Hey, y'all stay after it.
And Corn and Chili, everybody's just sitting over here on their phone while you're talking. They're
Trying
not.
to see if the
It's
YouTube's
basically
coming up.
the podcast basically isn't even happening right now.
This show's a disaster.
You guys need to tighten up, man. I've taught y'all how to host a dang podcast by now. I mean, come on, man.
Well, you've killed it.
You done, Chili?
Yep.
Take it from here, boys. Love y'all.
Love you.
Love you, brother. Be careful.
All right.
Is everything
Back.
running,
It's back.
Hunter?
I think it's back.
Good Lord,
I think it's back.
This is an
Now
absolute.
it's back.
This is an absolute wreck.
I'm about to get with Jeff on this internet if this is the deal.
Which Jeff? Trump Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done 'em.
All right. Kick it over to the news. Good night.
In national news, I wanted to see y'all's opinion. We've I don't just want to do this to appease the people that love Donald Trump so much.
Yeah.
When we talk negatively about him, it does irritate a lot of people. And I don't just want to say this to appease people, but I am pretty happy about the talks of this. the House of Representatives just passed a framework, a budget resolution for President Trump's agenda, extending his tax cuts, and it's supposed to make restructure income tax and make tips completely untaxed, makes overtime completely untaxed. I mean, I'm for that.
I was thinking about this just earlier, yesterday or today, and
we should all just be tipped.
it's not. You think like, all right, let me give you a metaphor. Chili, you got back pain. I'm gonna take that back pain from you. That sounds good, don't it? I'm gonna take your whole spine out to get rid of your back pain.
What are you talking about?
What else is gonna come? Like, yeah, we're gonna take away the taxes, but then what else is gonna come in that's gonna be probably worse than what even the taxes were?
Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a tax break.
Yeah, exactly. All these idiots out there thinking, oh, yeah, Trump's going to do away with the taxes. You just watch and see what else is going to be to come if the taxes do go away.
Well, I will say that everybody's wallet is doing better when Trump's in office, I mean, that's a fact.
It was the last time.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's why me and Corn voted for him.
Yeah.
Mine really improved when Biden was in.
I'm gonna vote for Trump again too.
I didn't have no money when Trump was president. Biden come in, and now all of a sudden I got all kind of money.
Fat Stacks McGee.
Yeah, thick.
It's true. Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, on a paper chase.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
And then Trump's in, cease.
Yeah, it stopped, slowed down.
Yeah, like turn the spigot off.
Well, something needed to be done with the way the overtime was taxed anyhow, because that would get ganked up, because it would put you into a higher tax bracket of like what your pay was if you got enough overtime to matter. If you're only working 2 or 3 hours overtime, shut up. You're not working overtime.
Yeah.
This is for the real people who's out there getting 10, 15, 20, 25 hours a week.
Yeah.
You're 3 and 4 hours a week. Like, you should give that money away anyway. Like, you don't even need that.
But I work overtime at Walmart sometimes. It'll be like 42, 43 hours a week because you go over when you have to stock.
Why are you doing it? Like, really?
It's my job.
The problem with taxes is that nobody can understand it.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
The code is
like,
very confusing.
What is this thing? Like, how am I taxed? All these
thing?
different laws and levels, and
Terrible.
This person can be, and you get child tax credits up to a certain dollar amount, then you don't get. And it's like,
yeah, you should scrap income tax entirely, but if you're not going to do that, at least simplify the whole code. Just really strip it down and simplify it. There was talk about a Doge tax credit. All the money that Elon Musk is saving, giving everybody like $5,000.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And, he floated out that idea. I mean, that would be.
So that's a legit idea. That wasn't just some fake.
Trump and Elon were talking about doing that. I mean, that would be awesome, but I don't foresee that happening. And like you do, I mean, legitimately in 2016 to 2020, the economy was better. I mean, if you say it wasn't, like, you're just out of your mind. I mean, not everybody did good in those 4 years or whatever, but overall, as a rule, that was absolutely a better economy. And I mean, I hope that happens again. Like, why would you not want that to happen again? But there is some validity to the idea that when certain things are given to you like this, or a break here, there's something coming that kind of undoes that.
yeah.
I mean, that's absolutely true.
You think they just got your best interest in mind, boy, and take these taxes.
But it may not even be a financial hit that comes with it. Like, you're going to save, a couple $1,000s a year on taxes now.
Couple thousand.
But then I'm just, as an example. And then, but you end up paying $2,000 more in groceries over the course of the year because of inflation or whatever. It may not even be that direct one-to-one. It may be these tax cuts happen and then
one world power.
Well, I mean, ultimately it could lead to something like that. I mean, there's definitely going to be a trade-off to every decision, and I have to be on the look for that. Trump continues to talk about Trump Gaza and remaking remaking the Gaza Strip into Atlantic City. I mean, that's continuing to develop.
Panama Canal.
The Gulf of America has been changed. Did you know that?
They've changed the name.
Go look on Google Maps right now, and if you scroll into that body of water, it does not say the Gulf of Mexico anymore. It says Gulf of America.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. Check it right now, Blake. There's lots happening. It is
I wonder
very.
if it's that way on Waze.
I bet.
Trump don't play, son.
It is a very exciting time to be alive. Steak and Shake is now serving beef tallow fries.
He's right. Look.
Tad bump. You text Trump the Addy, he's going to pull up and start scrapping.
Is that not crazy right there?
That is.
Gulf of America. Done.
That is.
A lot of things are going to have to change their name now.
A lot.
If you're, someone down around the Gulf of Mexico, you ain't nowhere because it don't exist.
That's right.
The American Triangle the Bermuda Triangle can be.
Garrison knew that was coming. Remember, he told us about that
Years ago.
Yeah.
Talking about it at the wharf.
Yeah, Garrison knew that was coming.
That wharf he runs.
Yeah.
Yeah, with an iron fist.
Panama City.
Though there's nothing about war funny at all, but I do find it hilarious that Trump and the administration is talking to Putin and Russia alone and not even talking to Zelensky about trying to get the war over with.
Well, he is talking with Zelensky. Zelensky's coming to meet with him to sign that deal that just gave the U.S. all these minerals.
The minerals, yeah. But, I mean, he talked to Russia and Russia alone, which the Z said he didn't even want to be there.
Right.
But that reminded me of the one world power. Well, the two stronger ones will go talk, and we'll decide what we're going to do with you, you little peon.
Well, it is funny that Trump called Zelensky a dictator. Is that not a quote that he called him a dictator?
It's a quote, but I didn't hear it.
I thought he called him a dictator, and then they asked him what he called Putin a dictator, and he's like, well, I'm not. He was like, I don't use that word lightly. He wouldn't call him one. It was
my buddy, Bub.
It was very funny.
You know what else was funny is when that Indian, I think it was Indian or maybe it was somewhere over in the Middle East, the guy was asking Trump a question, and then he said, I can't understand you. But the guy was speaking English. And then the next time the guy was speaking English, and then they had a translator that was translating his English into more clearly understandable English and then telling it to Trump. Did y'all see that?
I didn't see it.
Oh, it's funny. The dude's back. He's like talking English, and I can understand him. And then the translator is further translating that into more clearly spoken English to Trump.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
But no, I mean that's interesting news. To call Zelensky a dictator and then not call Putin a dictator. That's just interesting.
Right.
I mean,
well, he's not.
That's a negotiation chip.
Yeah, he's not one.
Just kind of a negotiating tool. He's very friendly with Putin to try to get this deal. I'm not saying I understand how you would negotiate a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. I'm certainly not trying to act like I understand that.
Right.
But why, if you wanted Ukraine, why would you not just flat out refuse to offer Ukraine any help? Why would Trump not strip any help that the Biden administration was giving Ukraine? I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Why are we doing that? What's the point of helping them at all?
Well, I mean, the politically correct scenario is to keep Russia from expanding into Europe and
heck, Ukraine is already theirs.
I
mean, it's already freaking NATO is who's fighting Russia right now anyway.
Oh yeah.
So what's just quit? Just strip the support, and then nobody's fighting them.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
And it's not just giving Putin whatever he wants. If he started just tearing through Europe, well, then we would go to war with him directly. We wouldn't even try to do it through proxy.
Yeah. And that would be a different kind of war that we ain't never seen before.
Oh, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But the Ukraine thing, I mean, I'm not just saying they can have, but basically you can have Ukraine.
Yeah.
Heck, man.
It's interesting to me how they just left the little guy out right off the rip.
What
He was like, I ain't coming. And they're like, cool. We didn't want you there anyway.
Well, in fast food news, what do you think of Steak and Shake switching to beef tallow for their fries? It's the RFK effect.
What beef tallow? What? What do you mean?
They're frying their fries in beef
frying
tallow. Yeah. No more hydrogenated vegetable oils.
Well, that's going to be expensive.
That's what I'm thinking.
Is it?
Beef tallow ain't cheap.
No, it's high as cat's back.
I've only ate at Steak and Shake once.
Ah, it's a darn cat squirrel.
Well, are their fries good to begin with?
Yeah, shoestring fries.
Are they?
I like them
You've
pretty
never
good.
ate there?
I've ate there once.
Once. I mean,
WONCET.
I mean, me and Corn, we could have so many first experiences together. Like, you've literally never caught a smallmouth bass. You've never.
I haven't caught a smallmouth
No,
bass.
it was a largemouth.
No, I'm saying he's caught one now. Now he's not caught a smallmouth. He caught his first largemouth.
No, I don't know that I've ever caught a smallmouth.
Really?
Yeah, you ain't either.
They got some in Carter's Lake.
Now that you're not gonna tell me that.
Prove it.
Okay, I will. There's bound to be some old pictures of me.
Huh? Let's
With a
see.
smallmouth
Yeah.
bass?
He ain't never
Lake
caught
Chickamauga.
Ain't no
Get
smallmouth.
rip them out of there, son.
Go to jail. You be fishing there from Tennessee.
I mean, I haven't caught many. I will say, but I have.
You haven't
Absolutely.
caught any.
Many. Wow. That's really not true, bud. I am twice the fisherman both of y'all are.
Twice?
Yeah, twice. That is a fact.
You can have the fishing.
I mean,
Now, if we was fishing for catfish, you wouldn't say that.
no, I wouldn't say that. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, you wouldn't say that for catfish, but
But crappie fishing, yeah, I would say that.
no.
Now, if we was fishing-
I would.
I'll let you have the bass, but you're not gonna say that about crappie fishing.
If we was fishing inshore, you wouldn't say that.
Correct. You can go through the list of what I want, but
If we were fishing for smallmouth, you wouldn't say that.
yeah, I would. Crappie fishing, yeah.
You wouldn't say that if we was fishing for brim,
It's
shell cracker.
brim and crappie, yeah,
No, you wouldn't.
yeah.
Corn's
It's
got
also
some,
not crappie. Don't say that.
Corn's got some big local news.
Well, what do you think about the dang fries, really?
I've never had fries that was fried in beef tallow.
But that's a. I mean that.
But if it's
I'm
more healthy-
happy about that.
If it's more healthier,
Is
Let
that
it
why
rip.
fry is considered bad because of what it's fried in?
Yeah.
But if it wasn't fried, if it's fried in something good, then like, hey, roll with it. You got some olive oil,
Well, I mean, potatoes.
tallow.
I don't think potatoes are bad for you.
right?
So yeah, French fries fried in.
do you think they're trying to jump ahead of a curve that Kennedy's going to put out here? And
Never
Yeah.
mind their hamburger.
What do you mean?
like, okay, we all going to have to start having healthier options to prepare this food and whatnot. So let's just go ahead and get it fired up.
Maybe. I don't know. I think that's a good call.
I'm gonna go get me a lap of them.
Yeah.
They're
Is it-
already doing it now?
They're supposedly starting like immediately,
Wow.
soon
There's
as
a-
possible.
There's a steak and shake right yonder.
I'm gonna hit that up. Get me a shake. Give me some beef tallow fries.
Dip them fries in that squaw belly
What you
shake.
talking about?
Right there's gonna be good. Better than catching an Alabama largemouth, boy.
What you talking about?
Oh my gosh. Local news.
So, yesterday, Menlo, Georgia, which is 9 miles from Summerville, at 9 a.m., had a 2.6 magnitude earthquake.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Sure did. And then yesterday at 9 p.m., they had a 2.4 in Macon, Georgia.
Really?
About 8 miles from Macon.
So
No,
there's
I
a,
didn't feel that one. I felt that one in Menlo while we were
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
so is there a good fault line up there near you?
I'm assuming there is up there through that ridge, I reckon.
Wow.
How about down in Macon?
I mean, that ain't the first time I've heard of a earthquake around Macon. So I'm assuming there's one down there too. I don't know. I wonder what the actual magnitude number is like when you're like, oh, now this right here, this is the real deal.
Ain't that the Richter scale?
Yeah, Andy Richter. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
that's gone
knocking
off the
stuff,
Richter scale.
knocking stuff off the wall and whatnot. I don't think 2.6 is
No.
getting down.
No, that ain't much.
Is that 2.6 on the Richter scale?
Yeah.
It allows M 2.6. I'm assuming M is magnitude 2.6.
That's mini.
Yeah, it's magnitude.
But the one in Macon.
But what
was,
is the scale on?
601.
The Richter scale.
Is it the Richter?
Yeah, I'm assuming. That's what I've heard since
Yes.
I was a chitlin. Yeah.
A what?
So get you some of these earthquakes. 2 earthquakes in Georgia in one day.
Chitlin.
That's big.
That's real big.
Did Ann feel it?
I don't know. I ain't
No,
even
nobody
asked.
felt
If
it.
she would have felt it, she would have allowed.
Nobody
She
felt
would
it.
have. She would have allowed. She felt it.
Nobody
I ain't
felt.
living up here in Somerville on these earthquakes.
Nobody.
Now, I'm gonna tell you, when I lived in Silver Creek and the boys was little, there was an earthquake somewhere up in this country, and I was getting ready of the morning to go to work, and I heard the door going. I was like, "What the crap?" I thought the dang furnace or something was getting wild, kicking on real hard. I get ready. I get ready a little more, and the door was going. I said, "Good night." So I went to work and come on the radio, and they was like, "Earthquake." I don't remember what the number was. It wasn't nothing.
2.6 or something.
Yeah, but
Dude, that's not even enough to feel.
How does that be to feel?
I mean,
I know
you're gonna have to consult the Richter scale.
3.
But
3
So they were right. I mean, pert near.
getting felt.
Yeah.
That was all
Somebody
about,
that
them
with
boogers was-
hypersenses, they felt it.
Oh yeah, them things was almost getting felt right there.
Yeah. How high does the Richter go?
9,
EF4,
9,
EF5.
9. It is
9?
9. I'm telling
Is
you.
it 9?
We can't hear you, Pepe. You ain't got no
category?
microphone. They do need to hear you. The answer's 9 on the Richter scale.
8.
9 is theoretical, but it's 9. Yeah,
Well, there you go.
and you'd feel that.
So it's pretty close, to being felt. Pepe said 3. 2.6. They ain't a half a Richter off.
Menlo's in the eastern Tennessee seismic zone.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Built.
I'm not repeating misinformation on the podcast.
It allowed residents felt it in Menlo, Cloudland, as well as parts of southeastern
Yeah.
Walker County.
Look, Corn. Okay,
This is what this allowed.
No. So there's a news station in Menlo, Georgia, and they go, "Hey, we just local news. We had a earthquake. It was a magnitude of 2.4. You may have felt it last night." And then they went out and talked to the people on the street of freaking Somerville and said, "Did you feel that hurricane?" They said, "Yeah, I did."
Hurricane.
Whatever, earthquake. They didn't feel that.
They felt it in Menlo and Walker County.
No, they didn't.
I believe it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Their doors was going.
Menlo's Alabama, anyway.
It don't take much to shake something in your house, like something on the shelf.
Yeah.
You can walk through the house and
Right. Yeah.
it'll shake.
Yeah. Train going down the track. Shake it. Well, that's local news.
That's
for you.
that's not local. That's Alabama. Menlo's Alabama.
No, Menlo's Georgia.
No, it's Alabama.
You say Ringo's Tennessee.
Whatever.
Menlo's Georgia. So is Macon.
Macon is.
Mentone is Alabama, if that's what you're thinking of.
No, that's Alabama. But Menlo's, you'd call that Alabama.
They had a earthquake there. That's
Whatever.
local news.
Thanks. Well, that about does it. Good Lord, this show is a disaster. Chad's not here. What? Oh, I see that. Help me, Blake. What are you wearing? Huh?
What?
Well, this show, did you think this show was a disaster, Corn?
No, I think it went good. I think it went real good.
I mean,
the YouTube froze. We can't help that.
Well, that's
bud.
Creme Pepe's fault.
That's gonna happen. It ain't your fault, bub. It ain't your fault.
Wow.
That's gonna happen. You can't control that. But I think you've hosted very, very well.
Well, it is important to note that this show is brought to you by Barbell Apparel. Put the camera on me, Pepe. Look at this shirt right here. Do you have some of these, Blake?
Oh, yeah.
Ultralight Tech Tee with the Be Hard branding.
Yeah, let me look.
I'm a big fan of this shirt.
You like it?
Oh, big fan. This is my number one piece of gear from Barbell, the Ultralight Tech Tee. The Ultralight joggers are a close second. I kind of go back and forth. That's what you have on, Corn.
Yeah.
Makes his calves look huge.
Yeah, Kyle texted me. He said
What'd he say?
the Be Hard logo should be on. You should be able to get it on that shirt now, just like that
really?
one you got, because that was a fresh one,
Right.
that they couldn't get. So I think if you go on I hadn't confirmed this. It might take a minute to catch up on the website, but you should be able to get that.
This specific shirt.
Yeah, with that logo on it, and I think even the ultralight joggers, which is what Corn wears perpetually.
Well, I wanted my shorts during that squirrel hunt when me and you did that PT. Man,
Yeah.
I was so ticked I forgot some shorts.
Yeah,
I love those shorts.
the Adapt,
Yeah.
the thicker ones, I do too. Yeah, that's.
I like the
probably-
lightens too.
Yeah, I like the cut of the Adapt ones, and I like this Havoc shirt a lot. You wear this a lot.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's all I wear. And really, what's going on right now with Barbell that I did just remember is pretty much their biggest sale of the year up front that we know about. You can get any pair of pants or joggers or jeans or whatever for $99, which is a really good deal. I mean, I think that's a really good price for their jeans.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I wear if I'm ever going out on the town, or a speaking engagement, traveling with the whole team.
You worked out at CrossFit before. You've showed up to PT in them britches before.
In them jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. With the lifetime guarantee that Barbell has of $99 for their jeans and joggers is a really good deal. So I would recommend getting in on that sale. And also, get you one of these ultralight tech tees with the Be Hard logo. It's pretty sweet.
It's on there.
Yeah, it's on the website now, it looks like. So
Yeah. Joggers, shorts.
this is the shirt we wear when we are going to work out in. And we do, not going to tell you what it is, but we do have some new things coming with Barbell. Mm-hmm. We got some new
graphic shirt.
New graphic shirt, yeah.
Oh, that's big too. Yeah, I finalized
Can we say
it.
that?
Yeah.
New graphic shirt? I mean, we're not going to tell them what it is, but.
Right, yeah. It'll be up soon, and it's going to be big.
Real big.
It's going to be big. Yeah, you'll see us wearing it soon. So, thank you to Barbell for sponsoring this episode. And that about does it, because the technical difficulties, Chad not being here, Corn's swollen mouth, I don't think it'd be wise for us to continue much longer. You got any super chats, Blake? We'll start reading them. We'll try to react to them. And
I bet you little Virgil does praying hands today.
Okay.
I'm going to call that.
We had Marty Bingham come in at $9.99.
I remember him.
As the undisputed world record holder of a man out punting his coverage, I'm obligated to pass on the art of courtship to the next generation. Give Hunter a pencil.
Oh, gosh.
He's about to get you a lady friend. Pepe, get ready, Bob.
Marty's saying his wife is better looking than he is. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's what outkick your coverage means. Pep.
Yeah, and he's saying he's about to teach Pep how to
Court
to
the
do that.
ladies.
Yeah.
How to court the ladies.
So here it is. First thing I need to know is what size overalls and shirt he wears. Serious question.
Youth 12.
He's a small shirt. What size overalls do you wear?
Small.
Small.
Surely.
Yeah, you probably, what, a 26 waist? You don't wear blue jeans? You've never wore blue jeans?
Oh, that's a problem.
Holy moly.
What?
Whoa.
You don't know what
What do you
size
have against
waist you
blue
are?
jeans?
Small, Marty. You're a 28 waist, aren't you?
Yeah.
He's probably smaller than that.
Probably at 24.
Well,
Like, seriously.
Good night. I don't know.
He's nowhere near as wide as Chili.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, have you seen my tricep lately, dude?
Marty,
Come here.
come back in at $9.99. He said this is a lengthy process. To start with, he needs to add the Magnum PI eyebrow wiggle to his morning PT until it becomes muscle memory. Then we can get to work. Do you know about Magnum PI?
Oh, yeah, Tom Selleck. Do you know about him? Pep? Yeah.
Little Virgil come in at $4.99. Thank you for all those, Marty. And thank you.
Marge.
And thank you for being willing to coach Pep
Pep.
on how to get a lady. So he said he's not going to tell us when he does get one.
Okay.
But little Virgil coming at $4.99, and he wrote something this time.
Uh-oh.
Said, "Thank you, 3 of 7. I was thinking, baby birds look up to feed, and then they fly or fall."
They gone. After that.
With the praying hands.
Wait, did he really
With the
say?
praying hands? Told you about
Yeah.
the praying hands.
Did he really? Wow. Have we ever got a super chat comment from Little Virgil? I mean, he's the
Not that I know
he's
of.
the best commenter, but
Yeah.
that he must he thought about that one.
Yeah.
Dang.
But I mean, that's
That's
what
like
happens.
a proverb.
I'm shell shocked by
That's
that.
what happens.
That's awesome. Thank you, Little Virgil.
That's
Yeah.
what happens.
I've loved you for years. Going back to when we did it at the old studio, Little Virgil was my favorite.
That's what happens.
All right. Chili, I need your reaction for this. Listen. Chili,
Yeah.
look, bub. Jesse Reams came in at Canadian $399.
Good night.
Blessings from the Yukon. 100 for Corn. 100 for Blake. 100 for Chili.
Good night.
99 for Pepe.
There you go.
And 99 cents for Chad.
Wow.
Bill.
That's big right there.
That's real big.
399 Canadian.
Who was that?
Jesse Reams.
My gosh, Reams.
Well, me and Corn expect that in our next.
Holy
I
moly.
expected immediately.
Holy cannoli.
Wow, Jesse. Thank you.
That's big.
That is a.
Y'all
I
might
mean,
have done that.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's our biggest super chat we've ever had.
yeah. Gotta be.
I don't think we've ever had a super chat that big.
That is wild.
That's really disrespectful to whoever gave us one if we had, but I don't think we
I
have
don't
either.
remember it.
Nah,
If you can't
Unbelievable,
give that
Jesse.
much in a super chat,
Blake.
that's okay. What, Chili? Thank you, Jesse.
It's just saying your name.
We appreciate that, bub. Juan Nunez coming in at $10.01.
There you go.
Running my first marathon in 2 weeks. I did a trial 20-mile run and finished in 4 hours and 43 minutes and felt okay. But I think I lacked in carbs. Chili, what do you recommend to do, or what do you recommend or do prior to a long run?
Well, if you lacked in carbs, it may be because you didn't eat anything before you ran, which I actually think is a good thing to practice. Because most of the time when you're going to sign up for a race, it'll be early in the morning and you're not going to want to get up super early. And because if you wanted to get up and have a nice breakfast at, 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., whatever time, you'd have to get up that early to let it settle. And that's just, it's not worth the lack of sleep you're getting for that. So it's actually good to try some long runs first thing in the morning without eating anything. But that means you're going to have to really eat well on the run. So, you're just going to have to fuel properly. 300 calories an hour of whatever works for you, and primarily carbs. And I've the more I've ran too, the more I've moved to a like a drink mix based,
Yeah.
approach to getting my calories in.
Especially if you're going fast, right?
Yeah. That's definitely the way to go. But yeah, no, there's not much before a long run other than get enough sleep. That's super important.
And come do a dang course, Juan. I've been telling Allison to get you to come out and do a course. Come on and do one, bub.
Which one you want him to do?
Whatever.
Rock?
All of them.
All of them. And bring Allison, too.
Every one of them.
No, really, that would. That's all I could say. I mean, yeah, fuel properly on the run and get enough sleep. It's hard for everybody to get enough sleep. Corn never gets sleep, but really, that is the biggest thing people could do to train better and feel better on a daily basis is get enough daggum sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have your training dialed in, but if you're not getting enough sleep, then it'll just fall apart.
Eat before you're hungry, right?
Yeah.
When you run and eat before you're hungry.
But those fasted long runs in the morning are tough.
Yeah.
But if you fuel properly on the run, it'll be fine.
We had Glades Dan coming at $9.99. This is for Corn's turkey fund. Them turkeys gonna have to pay the tax man, then use the feathers to fix the truck seat.
Believe that. Thank you, Glade. Believe that.
And
Dan Glades.
this is our final super chat here. Sean Schneider, $20.
Dang, thank you, Sean.
I think an aftershock froze up YouTube. I'll have to go back and
my
catch the
gosh.
middle of the show.
He's saying that earthquake
It did.
in Menlo.
Messed up you.
That's what happened down here.
Yeah. I knew it would.
Whatever.
So,
Sign it off, Blake.
thank you guys for tuning in.
Do your signature sign off.
Lord willing, we'll see you next time. Good morning.